Hey y'all, I wanted to give you a quick tour of the Kansas Avenue Learning Garden because you didn't get a chance to get down here in April like we planned. So just going to give you a tour and show you what's going on, and then every week I'm going to do a quick update to show you what's grown so that when you come back in the fall as fifth graders you can really see the difference and kind of see where it's come from and then be part of the harvest. All right, I'm going to start over at the Pick Me garden beds. And these garden beds, we always plant with things that people can just walk by and pick. And so we rotate where they go to protect the soil. But we always kind of do the same things. And so we plant peas here. And actually we didn't rotate this year because all these peas were volunteers from last year. So I was like, let's just let those keep growing. Plant some more peas there, plant some more peas there. Over here, what's coming up are radishes and Japanese salad turnips, which are really delicious. We have strawberries in that bed. This bed over here, I just finished planting. Oh, here are the turnips. Here are the salad turnips. And then we've got spinach coming up over there, super tiny. A couple of sunflowers. Another pea bed over here, and then we just planted this out with greens, and there's some volunteer greens from last year. So going back into the garden, over here we've got our native plants with a lot of weeds. I haven't had much help in the garden this year, so a lot more weeds coming up. Coming into the garden, we've got our grains bed, and last year we planted wheat. Guess what's coming up? A bunch of wheat, so I'm gonna let it go. These beds up here, bed 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those are the ones that Amity fourth graders help me plant every spring. We rotate what gets planted there, and so in the coming weeks I'll show you what's going on. Right now, still need to be weeded. We've got the berries back there looking really good. They were flowering last week. We've got some flowers coming up right here. These are blue flax. Over here we have our butterfly garden. A lot of stuff coming in, some flowers in the background. Our monarch way station right here, planted with milkweed. Some milkweed is coming up right there, along with some weeds. Over here, this is a kale bed, and we have some kale here, right there, and right there, that survived the winter of snowpocalypse 2 years ago. And so I am just letting that go as long as it wants to. But I think a deer might have come recently. We've had some nibbles. In fact, I found some deer poop the other day, which confirmed that there was some deer. Back over here, garlic was planted here last year, and it looks like there were a few that were not harvested. So we're gonna have more garlic. Our little free library is still closed for the season. Hopefully that'll open up soon. Our plum was flowering last week, and that's all done, and hopefully we'll get some plums. We've got some onions, rhubarb, which is going to flower. I did harvest some last night and made my first rhubarb strawberry pie. And then for the first time ever, we've got asparagus coming up. 3 years ago I planted those crowns, and now we're getting some to come up, so that's pretty exciting. And then for the last part, I'm going to go into the greenhouse. And here's where we really have stuff coming up. We have more of the radishes and the Japanese turnips, both of which I need to thin out a little bit. We have some spinach in here. Over here we have some more spinach, some beans and peas. This side I haven't gotten to yet. There's some beans coming up from last year. That is a giant mullein, also known as a toilet paper plant because of its soft fuzzy leaves. Technically it's a weed. I haven't harvested it yet, just in case someone might need it. Over here we have garlic that's coming up and looking really good. And then the last two beds I haven't tended to yet, but again, those grew beans, and the beans, the ones that weren't harvested, that were dried, dropped and then replanted, and now we've got some beans coming up along with some other weeds. Well, that is a quick update of the Kansas Avenue Learning Garden, and I'll give you an update next week.